What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. Pardon the audio. I'm not on my microphone and coming to you from your favorite hallway. And this video is very important to make because I think I've touched a nerve. And it's a nerve that I think is actually needing to be touched at the end of the day because, for the most part, a lot of PlayStation fanboys would defend PlayStation through thick and thin and then deflect and point to Xbox under almost every circumstance. I saw this comment. I think I have to show this to you guys. I'm going to remove their names because I don't want, to put anybody on blast. However, this is something that you're going to see when you talk about what's going on. I'm a PlayStation player. I'm a PC player. I'll play on Xbox from time to time. But my two platforms that I play on mostly are PlayStation and PC, respectively. I made a video where I said PlayStation has fallen off. This generation has basically been a wash. They've been money hatting third-party games and bolstering their library to make it seem like they're a content provider. But most of those games are eventually flooding their way to PC, and eventually some of them are actually signaling, like Square Enix, that they intend to come to the Xbox platform. So I said, in terms of content, looking at Xbox's position right now, where they have two entire publishers under them, Activision and Bethesda, their content generation is going to dwarf PlayStation's. This is a fact. There is no two ways to wiggle your way around this. They are going to have more content by default than PlayStation. The money had it content, especially when it's going to other platforms, and especially the fact that it's not PlayStation's content, it doesn't count. I don't care what you say, it's not PlayStation's content. Xbox's content is more in terms of what they're able to produce from their studios. Now, as to whether or not you want to play them, that's your business. I'm probably not going to play most of them. I'm just calling the shots in terms of who's scoring more goals, and Xbox, having Bethesda and Activision, have those two. You got to deal with it. The facts are the facts, and it doesn't care about your unhinged feelings. Look at the way this person ranted. They said, "What? Then who is nobody count? Then who is nobody counts? Nintendo or PC?" PC is literally the outer space of platforms. I said in terms of content leadership, the amount of games that they have access to among both of them, Xbox and PlayStation. Nintendo's in a different, category simply because they're not exactly the kind of third party publisher that PlayStation and Xbox is, and they don't hold that kind of, third party involvement on their platform as much as PlayStation and Xbox do. So even though they're competitors, yes, even though they're leading in the hardware market, yes, even though they're leading in terms of software sales, yes, we're pitting Xbox and PlayStation in this comparison. This person says, so you're saying Xbox is, in terms of content leadership, when you compare PlayStation and Xbox, yes, they're leading in content. And then he said, name a game that is top tier that Xbox has put out. I didn't care about the quality of the game in terms of this. That's a subjective categorization, because even a bad game like Arcane's Redfall is still a better game than Firewalk's Concord. Sorry, it's still a game. You see, this is something that I'm trying to point out here, because again, the subjectivism is going to play out in terms of, what it is that we like. I wouldn't play Redfall. I'm not here to sit and talk about, the so-called bangers that you're talking about. That's not my concern, because again, if you think about Bethesda games, most of you aren't going to play it, but then you see Bethesda fans, they're playing Fallout 76 as of yesterday more than Final Fantasy 16. Fallout 76 had like 17,000 people playing it, and Final Fantasy 16 is already out. God of War is going to come out. It's probably going to get a good number because there's a lot of people waiting for the sequel. But there are other games that are going to pretty much be washing it in terms of player, base and all that, other stuff. Game Pass is trash, folks. Okay, here we go. Game Pass is trash. I wasn't even talking about Game Pass in this whole video. Name a game on there that wasn't 2 generations ago. This person doesn't have Game Pass. Already, you can see that this is already, them just spouting a whole bunch of nonsense. I believe Game Pass is the reason Xbox has produced nothing but trash. My dude, Xbox has barely themselves from their studios produced anything in the last few years were it not for Bethesda and Activision games. A lot of what they've been bringing on Game Pass has been third-party games And then some of their titles that are already established that if you walk out there and go say Forza is trash, you're going to be beaten proverbially on the head with a stick, because that's a game that actually is a niche game that does the job in terms of what a racing simulation should look like. So again, you're talking nonsense. At least PS has competitive games that may be on a lower high tier status, but still than what Xbox has come with. Now I know why Xbox only gets worse with no improvement, because Xbox fans, and yes, you're an Xbox fan, and because if you wasn't a fan of Xbox, then there will be no reason to make this stupid claim. I'm not an Xbox fan. I'm more of a PlayStation fan than an Xbox fan. Why would I be an Xbox fan? Go look at my Xbox profile. Barely play a lot of games there. The Gotham Knights game that I played there, it's because there's a PC version. Now they said, PS has been the better product, period. You want Xbox to get better? Stop excusing the crap that they've put out. Oh, in a video where I'm talking about a Horizon Zero Dawn remaster, I'm excusing the crap that Xbox has put out? You're a diehard fan, and then they said this. Seriously, just like MAGA fanatics who excuse everything Trump says or does, even if what they say the left does, but it's what they do, and you confront them about it, they never answer or rebut the statement of facts. They play whataboutism. In a comment where he's playing whataboutism, I get dragged into a freaking political discourse. The most anti-political person that you've ever met on YouTube, by the way. Never voted in my life, never will vote, hate politics. This dude comes out of the woodwork because I made a video saying that PlayStation is falling off because they've loaded this particular console generation with remasters and remakes more than anything else. There's going to be another remake coming next month, Until Dawn. Jeff Grubb is already citing that the PlayStation reveal is going to be showing another remaster. They're using this remaster to launch the PS5 Pro console, according to rumors, the one for Horizon Zero Dawn. And somehow, this dude is pointing to Trump fanatics on a YouTube video about PlayStation not having as many games as Xbox, which is a mathematical fact. How many PlayStation first-party games are in existence in 2024 compared to how many Xbox first-party games are in existence in 2024? The answer is a big, huge, massive ratio. I've seen people cite all these other games. Wukong, done belong to Sony, coming to Xbox, sold better on PC. Rise of Ronin, bombed on PlayStation, done belong to PlayStation. I mean, think about it. Are we going to just ignore the fact that this is Xbox's target to actually push more content than anything else? Are we going to ignore the fact that PlayStation needs content and is struggling getting content, something that they said themselves when the Insomniac files leaked? So yet again, a lot of this unhinged tirade is just insane. And this person said, that I'm probably grifting or trolling. I'm like, man, if I was trolling, then, it's effective, but I'm not. But it seems like, you've lost the plot in terms of the way you jumped out here, right in front of the reality, to try to somehow mentally do the mental gymnastics that I usually blame some, PlayStation fanboys for. And they said they're not a hater of Xbox. Maybe they're an Xbox fan. Maybe they're a disgruntled Xbox fan. I don't know. But I'm really surprised that this was the response that they gave when this all came into play. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what else to say, man. I strongly believe that we've reached the precipice where the reason PlayStation is getting worse, because they are, simply because of this. At least Xbox is putting in an effort. All this talk about, Xbox, hasn't made a game that is as good as... Well, they're at least putting games out. They bought games to put out, right? Because they were like, man, our studios can't do it yet. While we're waiting for our studios to actually knock it out, let's go shopping. What's PlayStation doing? What's PlayStation doing? They're going to go grab other games to make it seem like their storefront is like packed with PlayStation games when these games don't belong to them. The games are going to eventually make their way to other platforms. Genshin Impact took a while. They made their way to Xbox. And people are saying, gamers don't want to wait. Says who? Says who? Maybe you don't want to wait, but it's hard for you to go ahead and speak for other gamers. That's not fair. It's not fair. But I digress. Thanks for watching the video. Appreciate you guys so much. Peace out.